right, we are working on the math review dated 4/20. It's the first page of that first new spiral review Q1-2 here. So I'm going to work on Wednesday right now. So find the product of 43 times 823. So I'm going to use my scratch paper. I'm going to work out my problem right here. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. I'm going to move over move down, put a placeholder since I'm moving over one place value. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to carry my 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then 4 times 8 is 32. Add everything up. 9 plus 0 is 9. 6 plus 2 is 8. 4 plus 9 is 13. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. And then blank plus 3 is 3. So my answer is 35,389. Find the quotient. So I'm doing division. 549 divided by 9. All right, so how many times will 9 go into 5? It will not go in at all. I could do a 0 here and multiply and get, move everything around. But what I do know that 9 will go into 54 nicely. 6 times 9 is 54. 0 is less than 9, but I have another number to drop down. So how many times will 9 go into 9? We're going 1 time. 1 times 9 is 9. 0 is a remainder. 61 is my answer. Let's check our work. 61 times 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 6 is 54. 549, 549. So we know we are correct there. All right, find the sum. We're dealing with decimals here. The key thing to remember, boys and girls, when you're adding decimals and you're looking at place value, right here I notice I have something in the tenths place and hundredths. Over here I only have something in the tenths. So I'm going to put a 0 at the end. You can always add a 0 after that. It's called annexing a 0. So when I do my work on my scratch paper, I'm going to make sure I do that so I don't mess up when I'm adding. So 75 and 2/10 becomes 75 and 20 hundredths. Adding this up, I'm going to just add like I normally would. 3 plus 0 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. Drop down that decimal. 9 plus 5 is 14. Carry my 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 7 is 17. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer is 274 and 33 hundredths. Finding the difference, 29 and 9/10 minus 18 and 82 hundredths. Again, I have a place value right here in the tenths place. Here, this number that I'm subtracting has 2 digits to the right of the decimal, tenths and hundredths. I'm going to have to put a 0 here when I subtract. So 29 and 90 hundredths minus 18 and 82 hundredths. So let's subtract. I can't take 2 from 0, so I'm going to borrow from this place value. This becomes 8 tenths. This becomes 10 hundredths. 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. And 2 minus 1 is 1. 11 and 8 hundredths is my answer here. Simplifying each fraction, just think, what number can you divide into both the numerator and denominator to get a smaller fraction? So 6 and 10. I know, let's see, multiples of 6 would be 2 and 3. Multiples of 10 would be 2 and 5. So let's divide by 2. If I divide each by 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then 10 divided by 2 is 5. 3 is a prime number. I can't simplify that any further. 3/5 is my answer there. 9/21st. So let's see, multiples of 9 would be 3. And the multiples of 21 would be 3 and 7. Let's divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 3/7 becomes my answer. Find the product. This is just simple math fluency. That's why I always said it was so important just to practice your math facts constantly. So 8 times 7, we got 63. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 12 is 96. And then 8 times 11 is 88. Another strategy you could use there, if you know your 11s, you could have said 8 times 11 is 88. To find 8 times 12, you could have just added 8 more. So 88 plus 8 would have equaled 96. That's a strategy to use as well. 12s are harder, so it takes a little longer to learn this. All right, moving along. List 5 multiples of 8. So let's start with 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. That's actually 6 multiples, so I can stop there. Multiples of 9. So we've got 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63. Got a little carried away there, went a little further. And number 10, or excuse me, 5 multiples of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, go on forever here too. All right, list the factors of 41. What numbers multiply together to be equal 41? 1 times 41, and that is it. List the factors of 50. 1 times 50, 10 times 5, 2 times 25. Solve 300 minus 7. Oh my gosh, and then there's a bracket and a 4 in parentheses. So let's remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 300 minus 7. I put my number in the bracket here. Plus 3 cubed. All right, so parentheses first. Everything else moves down. 3 plus 5 is 8. Plus 3 cubed. Parentheses are first. Any exponents are next. So exponents would be this over here, this 3 cubed. So that's 3 times 3. So that would be 9. Everything else just moves down. All right, we're going to continue inside that little parenthesis bracket. This 4 with a parenthesis around the 8 actually is a multiplication. I know we didn't talk a lot about this, but this is part of that, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. But that is a multiplication sign, essentially. So I'm going to move everything down. 300 minus 7. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus 9. Alrighty, so now I'm going to still keep going. Multiplication. 7 laying outside of this bracket is actually telling me to multiply. That's 7 times 32. So I'm going to bring my work over here and do 32 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 1 is 22. So now I have 300 minus 224 plus 9. According to please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, so we did exponents. We did a multiplication. We don't have any division. We do addition first. So we do 224 plus 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 1 plus 2 is 3. And 2 plus blank is 2. So now I have 300 minus 233. Subtract that, I'll find my answer. Let's do 300 minus 233. I can't take 3 from 0. I'm going to borrow all the way from the hundreds place. This becomes a 10, becomes a 9. 10 minus 3 is 7, 9 minus 3 is 6, and then 2 minus 2 is 0. So 67 is my final answer. A lot of steps to get to one answer. But we did it slowly, we did it accurately, and we used that please excuse my dear Aunt Sally to help us. Next problem and final problem is draw a model to represent the following problem, 12 times 6. All right, so 12 times 6 I know is 6 times 2 is 12. Carry your 1. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 is 72. So my answer is 72, but I have to draw a model. Well, I could do 12 equal groups. And I could draw 6 of something inside of it. I'm doing quick math pictures. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I could draw little stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, into each one. And that would give me a model to represent that problem. You could do hearts, you could do happy faces, you could do smiley face emojis, you could do whatever you'd like, as long as your model shows 72 as your final answer. You don't even have to draw circles. You could have any kind of model you'd like, boys and girls. This is just one that I came up with. So as you can see, I'm almost done, staying strong. as always, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. You can message me on Teams. You can get your parent to message me on Class Dojo or Google Voice number. There we go. There's my model of 12 times 6. All right, that's all for right now. I'll have more videos up shortly.